welcome to Radio Classic's Halloween Trilogy of Terror. Tonight's program features 3 chilling tales introduced by our very own spooky storyteller. So without further ado, turn up the volume and turn down the lights. The show is about to begin.
Good evening, and happy Halloween. I've been expecting you. All year long I've waited for you ghoulish gobblers of shock and schlock to gather round for another bout of atrocious accounts and cadaverous chronicles. And tonight's 3 stories will not disappoint. What could be more innocent than the love of a young child for their parent? Our first dreadful yarn is about a daughter whose love is not to be trifled with, and the poor unsuspecting soul who comes between her and her precious daddy's affections. I call it The Good Die Young.
Years ago, when I was practicing medicine, I brought a child into the world. A girl who was named Sandra. In the years that followed, she grew into an extremely beautiful and clever child. But my story begins the day that Martha, the housekeeper, was finishing her duties for the last time.
Sandra? Come in here. I want to see you. Sandra?
Were you calling me, Martha?
Yes, I told you to come right home after school. Where have you been?
Oh, I'm sorry, Martha. I didn't hear you tell me to come home right after school. I'm sorry. I truly am.
Save your acting for your father, young lady. It hasn't fooled me for a long time. Sandra, since your mother died, you're becoming more and more of a problem every day. Well, at least after tonight, I won't have to put up with your lies and your 1,001 little tricks.
What do you mean, Martha?
Your father won't be needing a housekeeper anymore. I'm leaving tonight.
But why?
Well, I'm not supposed to tell you. But you may as well know now as later. Your father is bringing home a new mother for you tonight.
A new mother?
Yes, he's just married again.
But I don't want a new mother. Daddy and I don't need anyone else. We're happy just the way we are.
Sandra, stop screaming.
I won't have it. Do you hear? I won't have
Your
it.
new mother's a very fine woman. I met her last night.
I hate her. I hate her. Daddy's mine and no one else's. She hasn't any right to him.
If you don't stop that screaming, I'll tell your father when he comes home tonight.
No. Don't do that. I'll be good. But I hate her, and I always will. And I'll never stop hating her.
That's a fine way to talk. Perhaps I ought to warn the poor woman about Sandra. Well then, it's none of my business. Besides, she'll find out about her soon enough.
Stephen, it's ridiculous. You're carrying me across the threshold.
Oh, darling, it's a tradition in my family to carry the bride over the threshold. Oh, there you go.
Oh, Stephen, what a lovely house.
Oh, you haven't seen the best part of it yet. Sandra.
Do you think she'll like me, Stephen? I do so want her to.
Of course she will.
Perhaps you should have told her about us, instead of breaking it to her so unexpectedly like this.
Oh, nonsense, Helen. I know my daughter. She's a wonderful child, and she'll fall madly in love with you at the first sight, just as her father did. Sandra, where are you? It's Daddy.
Daddy, you're home early. Oh, I'm so glad.
How are you, darling?
Oh, Daddy.
I have a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Mm-hmm. Sandra, this is Helen. Helen, I want you to meet my daughter, Sandra.
Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
Darling, the surprise I just mentioned is Helen. We were married this afternoon. That means Helen is now your mother.
Oh, Daddy, that's wonderful. Now I'll have a mother just like all the other girls do. Oh, I'm so glad.
So am I, Sandra. and I'm sure we're going to be very happy together.
Of course we are.
That night, after the family had said goodbye to Martha and seen her off, Sandra was sent to bed. She lay quietly in the darkness, thinking. Occasionally she would speak softly to her doll, Barbara.
She hasn't any right being here, Barbara. Daddy and I were perfectly happy until she came along. Tonight, he didn't even notice me. Just kept on looking at her. Well, she shan't have him. He's always been mine, and he always will be. There, that's enough of that. Now, let me see.
Sandra, this is the second time this afternoon I've asked you not to pound the keys that way. That's no way to play.
I'm sorry, Mother.
It's not only the piano, dear. There are many other little things, and you pay no attention when I speak to you about them.
I don't mean to do them, Mother. I just forget.
Well, please try to remember, dear. Now I want you to play the piano as you did last night for Daddy. He was very pleased.
Yes, Mother.
Sandra! Sandra?
Yes, Mother?
I thought I asked you to stop pounding the piano like that.
But Mother, I was just composing a new piece for Daddy.
Well, that wasn't music, Sandra, but just noise. That'll be enough for today.
Hello, beautiful.
How are you feeling?
Well, why wasn't Sandra at the door to meet me? She's all right, isn't she?
Of course, dear. Stephen?
Mm-hmm.
I was a bit angry with Sandra this afternoon.
Angry with Sandra? Why? What did she do?
Well, several times this afternoon I had to speak to her about pounding the piano, being loud and discordant.
Huh. Well, that isn't like Sandra. You know how well she plays.
Yes, of course. That wasn't the way she played today.
Well, I'll go up and see her.
All right. Supper will be ready soon.
All right, Helen. Why, Sandra, what's this?
Oh, Daddy. Daddy.
What's wrong, dear? You never cry.
I was only trying to compose a new piece for your birthday next
A
month.
new piece for my birthday?
Yeah, I wanted to surprise you.
Oh, there, dear. You mustn't cry. I'm sure Mother understands you didn't mean to be bad. Now here, let me wipe your tears.
Oh, Daddy, I love you so. I just wanted to compose something wonderful for you.
I understand, darling.
Oh, Daddy, you always understand.
Is supper ready, dear?
Mm-hmm. Where's Sandra?
She'll be down in a minute. Helen?
Yes, Stephen?
She really didn't mean to pound on the piano and get on your nerves. It's just she was trying to compose a new piece for me.
But Stephen, it wasn't music. It was just noise.
Well, you mustn't be harsh with her. You know what children are like in their enthusiasm. They forget what they're told.
But Stephen, I don't know exactly what to say.
Well, it's a question of being patient with her, winning her love.
All right, Stephen. Perhaps I was a bit impatient with her. You know I want nothing more than for the three of us to be happy together.
I know that, darling, and the three of us will be happy together.
In the weeks that followed, Helen tried to overlook Sandra's slamming of doors and constant dropping of objects and other nerve-wracking incidents. In time, she felt Sandra would come to accept her love and guidance. It was just a matter of patience.
Sandra, is that you?
Yes, Mother.
Please sit down, dear. I want to talk to you.
All right, but do hurry. Daddy'll be home soon.
Sandra, every day I've been giving you milk money for school. Why haven't you been buying milk with that money?
But I have been, Mother.
Now please, Sandra, I won't punish you. I just want to know what you've been doing with that money.
I've been buying milk with it.
Please, Sandra. Mrs. Gordon, your teacher, told me you haven't bought milk for almost a month now.
I have. She just doesn't...
Sandra, I won't have you lying to me. Now that's your father. We'll see what he has to say about this.
You don't understand. You don't understand.
Stephen?
Hello, darling. Well, Sandra, what are you crying about?
I'm sorry, Stephen, but Sandra's been misbehaving. I think you'd better speak to her.
You just don't understand.
What's she done, Helen?
Mrs. Gordon, her teacher, told me today that for the past month, Sandra hasn't been buying milk with her milk money.
Is that true, Sandra?
And what's worse, Stephen, when I asked Sandra about it, she lied and said that she had been buying milk at school.
Why, Sandra, it isn't like you to lie about things.
I didn't mean to lie about it. I just wanted to keep it a surprise.
Keep what a surprise?
Your birthday present.
Oh?
I saved my milk money so I could buy you a pipe. It's here in this box.
Sandra, why, you know I would have given you money to buy a present for Daddy.
It isn't the same thing. I wanted to buy him a present with my own money.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sandra. Well, you might have told me about it when I asked you.
But then it wouldn't have been a real surprise. I did want to surprise Daddy, so.
But you have, darling. This is a beautiful pipe.
No, the surprise is spoiled. Your birthday isn't until tomorrow.
Well, this is much better, darling. It means I'll be able to smoke this pipe tonight. Oh, now, please stop crying. You go upstairs and wash your face and hands.
All right, Daddy.
I'm sorry, Stephen, but I had no idea what she'd done with the money, and she did lie when I asked her about it.
Well, if you'd only have a little more faith in her, Helen. I know it's difficult to understand her at times, but that's because, as a child, she looks at things differently.
I'm sorry, Stephen, if you think I've failed with her.
Oh, but you haven't, Helen. I'm sure that in time she'll come to love you as much as she loves me.
I don't know, Stephen. I often wonder about that.
As the weeks went by, Helen found herself coming no closer to winning Sandra's confidence. It wasn't that Sandra was unfriendly, but there was an air of reserve about her, which vanished only in her father's presence. Helen felt Stephen watching her anxiously when Sandra was about, and sought to reassure him. Her one thought was to preserve their happiness.
Hello, Helen.
Hello, dear.
Well, what happened to that vase, dear?
Sandra broke it.
Oh? Well, accidents will happen.
Stephen, this is the 4th piece she's broken in 2 weeks. And each of them were pieces I've treasured and had for years.
Well, Helen, you sound as though Sandra deliberately broke those pieces because they were yours.
Well, why is it only my things are broken?
Oh, Helen, surely you don't believe she's deliberately breaking your
I don't know what to believe. The first few times I thought it was an accident, but now...
But Helen!
Oh, please, Stephen. Oh, let's not quarrel. Perhaps I'm wrong. I admit I haven't any proof. It's just all the little things adding up.
Helen, what are you talking about?
Oh, you wouldn't understand even if I told you.
Where's Sandra?
In her room, I suppose.
Well, I'll go up and see what she's doing.
All right, Stephen.
Sandra, it's Daddy. Are you in your room? That's funny. Who's in here? Hello, what's this? Addressed to me. Dear Daddy, I'm sorry about the broken face. I tried my best to be a good girl, but everything that I do seems wrong. I made Mother very unhappy, so I'm running away. I love you very much and always will. Your daughter, Sandra.
After searching vainly for an hour in the dark and cold, Stephen returned and notified the police. All through the long hours of the night, he and Helen sat up, not saying a word, each afraid to speak for fear of what might be said. As the first rays of dawn showed, the doorbell rang. Stephen rushed to answer it.
Mr. Hamilton?
Sandra!
Daddy, Daddy.
Darling, darling, everything's all right now.
I'm the police matron from the 55th Street station, Mr. Hamilton. One of the officers on the force just found her.
Thank you. Thank you very much for bringing her home.
That's all right, Mr. Hamilton. It's our job. Goodbye.
Goodbye. There, dear. Don't cry.
Daddy, it was so dark out there. I thought I'd never see you again.
What a thing to say.
How do you feel, Sandra? Do you want me to take her, Stephen, and put her to bed?
No, I'll do it, Helen.
All right, Stephen. Just as you say. Is she all right, Stephen?
Mm-hmm. She just fell asleep. I hope her being out all night won't have any after effects.
Stephen, you feel I'm to blame for her running away, don't you?
Of course not, Helen. It's just that, well, you don't seem to understand her.
But Stephen, I've tried so hard. Oh, it's no use. She doesn't want me here. Never has.
Helen, how can you talk like that? Why, she was delighted the day I brought you here as my wife.
Yes, I thought that she was in the beginning, but now I know she was just pretending.
Just pretending?
Yes, Stephen. From the first moment she saw me, she resented me. She feels I've come between you, taken her place in your affection.
Oh, Helen, how can you say such a thing?
It's true, I tell you. She sees me as a rival for your love.
You're just imagining all this.
I'm not, I tell you. Oh, it's no use, Stephen. We can't go on this way.
What do you mean?
Don't you see? We aren't happy anymore. Instead of things improving, they get worse. Perhaps it would be best if we were to separate.
Helen, I won't hear of it. I love you, darling, and I wouldn't want to live without you. Whatever misunderstandings we may have about Sandra, I'm sure we can straighten them out.
I don't know, Stephen.
If you love me, Helen, you won't give up so easily. Please say you won't leave.
All right, Stephen. I won't leave. Perhaps we will be able to work this out. I hope so.
Sandra, you awake, darling?
Yes, Daddy.
Sandra, Mother and I were very upset when you ran away last night. Mother seems to think you ran away because you couldn't get along with her. She felt so badly about it, she wanted to go away.
She did?
Yes, but I told her how much we both loved and needed her, so she's promised to stay.
Oh, I see.
Sandra, you will try to be a good girl and do as Mother wants, won't you? You would make Daddy very happy.
Oh, Daddy, I'd do anything to make you happy. Anything.
That's a good girl, darling. Now you get up and get dressed. I'll wait for you downstairs.
All right, Daddy. He just doesn't understand. He should have let her go, but she's still here, and she's going to stay. I won't have it. I won't have it. I hate her. I hate her.
A week passed. A week in which Sandra's behavior pleased Helen to no end. At last it seemed they were going to be the happy family she always dreamed they would be.
Helen!
Yes, dear?
Will you bring my coat with you when you come downstairs? Sandra and I are going to go for a walk.
All right, Stephen. I'll get it and be right down.
Daddy, can we walk down to the river?
Oh, we won't have enough time for that, Sandra.
Stephen?
Hmm?
I have your coat, but I can't find your scarf.
Well, the scarf's down here, Helen. Just bring the coat.
Oh, all right. Stephen, I hope that...
Helen!
Mother!
Helen, are you all right? Helen, speak to me.
Daddy, is she dead?
No, Sandra. Don't talk like that. Quick, phone Dr. Smith at once.
I arrived at the Hamilton home to find Helen suffering from shock, but otherwise unhurt. I was somewhat disturbed, however, to find her very nervous and run down.
She'll be all right, won't she, Doctor?
Yes, of course. I'm going to leave you a prescription, Mrs. Hamilton. It's something that will help to quiet your nerves. You ought to take it twice a day. Here's the prescription, Mr. Hamilton.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll have it filled at once.
And Sandra, how are you? You've been so quiet, I hardly knew you were here.
I'm fine, thank you.
You're growing up to be quite a young lady. Are you still troubled by nightmares?
Yes, she still has them once in a while.
Well, it's just her nerves. She continues to have them. You might give her some of the medicine I prescribed for your wife. Well, I must be leaving. Goodbye, Mrs. Hamilton, and stay in bed a few days, hmm?
I will, Doctor. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Well, darling, you gave us quite a scare.
Yes, I slipped on something on the top step.
You must have slipped on a marble, dear. I found 7 or 8 of them on the top step.
A marble? Sandra, were they your marbles?
No, Mother. They belong to Margie. She must have left them on the stairs when we were playing here.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't my fault. Truly, it wasn't.
Of course it wasn't, Sandra. Mother knows you wouldn't leave marbles lying around where she could slip on them. Isn't that so, Helen?
Yes, Stephen. I'm sure Sandra wouldn't want anything to happen to me. Sandra, will you come into Mother's room a moment, please?
Yes, Mother.
The medicine that Dr. Smith prescribed for me is in the bathroom. Will you get it for me, please?
All right, Mother.
You'll find it in the medicine chest. It's in a blue bottle.
Yes, I know what it looks like. Here it is.
That's fine, Sandra. Just bring it to me.
Here you are, Mother.
Thank you, dear. Oh, Sandra, this isn't the medicine that Dr. Smith prescribed for me. Didn't you read the label? This bottle has poison in it.
Poison?
Why, yes, it's right here in red letters on the label.
I'm sorry, but this bottle is blue too. It looks just like the one with your medicine.
Yes, it does at that. Now, put this bottle of poison back and get me my medicine.
Yes, Mother.
I'll have to get rid of that poison. It's too dangerous to keep in the medicine chest.
It would have been awful if you took the poison, wouldn't it, Mother? Why, you might have died. No, go away! I hate you! I hate you! He's mine! We don't want you! We don't want you!
Darling, wake up, wake up, wake up. You're having a nightmare.
Oh, Daddy, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Of course I won't, Sandra.
Stephen, she's so frightened.
Yes, these nightmares leave her nervous for hours.
Oh, Daddy, I was so frightened.
There's nothing to cry about.
Stephen, come here a moment, will you please?
All right, Helen.
Oh, Daddy, don't leave me.
Now, Sandra, I'm not going to leave you. I'm just going to see what Mother wants. What is it, Helen?
Stephen, Dr. Smith said that if she had a nightmare, some of the medicine he prescribed for me would help her.
Well, Sandra doesn't like taking medicine.
But this medicine is very easy to take, and it'll have her asleep in no time.
If you think it's best.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Now, you go back to Sandra while I get the medicine and a glass.
All right, Helen. Now, Sandra, you must stop your crying. Daddy's here.
Don't go away, Daddy. I need you to stay with me.
Of course I'll stay with you. What were you dreaming about?
I don't know. It was all so mixed up. Oh, Daddy, will you always love me more than anyone else in the world?
Of course. Now stop your crying.
All right, Stephen, I have it. Now, if you'll just have Sandra sit up.
Come on, darling. Sit up now. That's it.
What's Mother doing?
She's pouring you some medicine to help you sleep.
Medicine?
Yes, it's the same medicine Mother takes for her.
No, I don't want it.
Now, please, Sandra. It will make you feel much better.
No, don't come near me. I don't want
But
it.
Sandra, Mother takes it twice a day. There's nothing to it.
No, I won't take it. I won't.
Perhaps we better let it go, Helen.
Nonsense, Stephen. She'll have us up all night if she doesn't take it.
All right.
Now, Sandra, stop being a baby and take this medicine.
No, Daddy, no. Don't let her make me take it. Don't let
Sandra,
her.
Are you going to let me give you this quietly, or do I have to make you take it?
No, it'll kill me. I know it will.
Here, let me hold your head. That's it.
No!
Sandra, stop clenching your teeth. Open your mouth. Do you
Daddy,
hear?
don't let her.
There. She's taken it. All this fuss over nothing.
Helen, she's choking.
Daddy.
Sandra,
Daddy,
what's wrong?
Hurts. It's burning me, Daddy. Help
Helen,
me.
quick.
Help me, I can't breathe.
Call Dr. Smith. Tell him it's an emergency.
Daddy.
Stephen, here's Dr. Smith.
Let me see her.
She's been unconscious for 10 minutes now. Doctor, you must do something.
I'm afraid it's too late, Mr. Hamilton. She's dead.
Oh, no. No, she can't be.
I'm sorry.
But how can she be? We only gave her the medicine you prescribed for Helen.
Yes, here it is.
Let me see it. This medicine wouldn't kill her. It's only a nerve tonic. You can see that.
Doctor, what is it?
Why, this is the bottle, all right, but the medicine in it isn't the medicine I prescribed.
It is. I took some of it last night.
No, I assure you it isn't. This isn't the medicine I prescribed.
And what is in that bottle?
It smells like carbolic acid.
Carbolic acid?
But that's impossible. Look at the label. You can see it's my medicine.
Yes, the label's right, but someone poured out the medicine I prescribed and replaced it with carbolic acid.
No.
But why? Why should anyone want to do such a thing? Who could possibly want to kill Sandra? Everyone loved her. Ask Helen. She'll tell you that Sandra...
Stephen? Why are you looking at me like that? Surely you don't believe I poisoned her. Stephen. No. No! Stephen!
Poor Sandra. All she wanted was Daddy's love, but she couldn't share. Her condition? Terminal. The prescription? A double dose of bitter irony to be taken before bed, and be sure to call when you're morning. And don't feel too bad for old stepmom. In the end, the little devil got a taste of her own medicine, which I'm sure left her feeling more than a little blue. What would you do for freedom? Our next putrid chestnut is about an unhappy man who would do anything for his. I call it the Wailing Wall.
Here it is, Johnny.
Is anybody alive in that old dump?
They say an old guy lives there alone. Gabriel HARNELL?
Hope he had enough sense to get out. That old place is like a tinderbox. Hey, there is someone in there. Get the axe and come on.
I'm right behind you.
What?
Get out of the way.
Hurry, will ya?
That does the door. Okay, come on in.
You see anybody in there?
Can't stay.
Hey, there he is.
You crazy, Coop. Didn't even have the sense to get out.
Here, grab his shoulders.
Leave me. We're just taking you out.
I don't want to go out.
You ain't asking what you want. Come on, Johnny, before this joint collapses completely.
No! Can't leave the house.
Good evening, Mr. Harnell. I hope you're feeling... Mr. Harnell? Mr. Harnell? Head nurse, and hurry. Hello? Hello, this is Nurse Hopkins on the 18th floor. Gabriel HARNELL is not in his room. The window is open from the bottom. Yes, I'm sure he did. There's a letter. I know, but I'm sure he's not alive. Oh, yes. The letter? Yes, I'll read it to you.
To whom it may concern, by the time you read this,
I shall be dead. There can be no mistake this time. Death holds no fear, no terror greater than what I've endured in life. For the past 40 years I've searched for freedom. I hope now I've found it. Even now as I write, I can hear her voice calling to me as she did that night years ago.
Gabriel. Gabriel. Gabriel.
I'd prepared everything while she was in bed. Just the last few minute little details had to be completed.
Gabriel? Can you hear me?
What do you want?
What are you doing down there?
I'm fixing something.
Well, why don't you come up? I don't want to be alone here. I can't bear to be alone. Come up here. What's the matter with you? Why don't you answer me? Oh, you're just doing it for spite. I know you are. Oh, stop that hammering. You know I can't bear the noise. Now stop it, please. Gabriel, will you stop that noise?
Oh, you came down.
Of course I came down. Did you expect me to lie there while all this racket was going on? You know I'm a sick woman. What's that you're doing there anyhow?
You can see.
Of course I can see. It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, you've made a huge gaping hole in the wall. Now what on earth would you want to do a thing like that for?
You'll find out soon enough.
And what are all those things?
Stonemason's tools. Cement. Plaster.
I never knew you knew how to use them. Oh, I'm going back to bed.
No, Agnes. No.
Gabriel. That rope in your hands.
Yes. I've thought carefully about this rope, Agnes. It's the most merciful way. It leaves little trace, and there's no blood.
Gabriel!
You won't make it difficult, will you, Agnes? It's the only way.
No, Gabriel!
We couldn't go on like this. Your imaginary illnesses, your constant nagging. I have to be free of them, Agnes.
But murder?
This is best for both of us.
No! Send me away. You can do anything. We can get a divorce. There, see? That would solve everything. You could have your freedom.
Stand there, Agnes, just as you are.
I know. That other woman, that actress Dorothy Carter. That's why you're doing this. You thought I didn't know about that? But I do. No. Let go of me. Let go of me. No. That rope. Help! Somebody!
It will be done in a minute.
You'll never be free of me. As long as you live. Never!
The cat saw everything with its yellow eyes. The cat saw me take her body to the tomb I'd made in the wall. The cat saw me place her there and carefully seal it up. I worked quickly, skillfully, with infinite care. First the bricks, one on top of the other, and then the plaster. Then the wallpaper to match the rest of the room. That wasn't very difficult. In a short time it was done, and I was free. All I had to do now was go to the police and report her missing. It was even simpler than I thought. I put on my coat. I was about to open the front door when I heard it for the first time. I thought it must be my imagination. I listened carefully, rushed to the wall, put my ear to it, and what I heard made icy perspiration ooze out of every pore in my body. The wail was coming from the wall. It was like the insane shriek of a creature of another world. Was she alive in there? She couldn't be. I knew she was dead. And yet, I heard a voice wailing. I could swear it was her voice. I couldn't go out. What if someone else should hear it? Would they go to the wall? Investigate? The doorbell. Oh, it couldn't be at this hour. It couldn't be, but it was. Who? I had to risk everything and answer it. It was Patrolman KEARY. He was the officer of the beat. He was blue with cold.
Oh, sorry to disturb you, Mr. Harnell. I was passing by and I saw the lights on and I peeked in the window.
You looked in?
Yes, and well, since you were still up, I thought I'd ring. You know, it's bitter cold out tonight. I'd like to warm these old bones for a minute.
Oh, yes. Yes, Kiri. Don't stand there in the door, man. Come in, come in.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I see you got your coat on, Mr. Harnell. Just got in?
Only a few moments ago. As a matter of fact, I was going to see you.
See me?
Why, yes. It's about my wife.
Is something wrong?
I hope not. I was out all evening. When I got home, she was gone.
Oh, that's not like her, Mr. Harnell.
No, it isn't.
Was she alone all evening?
Yes. At least I think she was. You know, she hasn't been feeling very well lately, and I hate to think it possible, but she may have destroyed herself.
Mrs. Harnell? No, she isn't the sort.
Oh, she was ill, terribly ill. I tried to keep it a secret until she recovered, but the doctors knew, and then... Yes, don't you see? The river.
Oh, I'd better get back to the precinct and report this. You'd better come with me. Missing Persons Bureau will... Hey, Mr. Harnell, you must be mistaken. Isn't that her?
That isn't a woman.
Of course it is. Coming from the other room there. Why, sure, it's your wife. I know her voice. It sounds like she's in pain.
It can't be. There's no one in that room.
She must have come in the back way. Come on, I'll show you.
No, don't go in!
What?
Nothing. There. You can see for yourself there's no one here.
No one? I could have sworn your wife was in this room.
Kiel watched in silent fascination as the cat screamed and leapt against the wall. Would he notice the new wallpaper in the dim light? Suddenly the policeman turned to me.
Yes. I guess the noise is only the wind. Strange how like a wailing woman it can sound.
Yes.
Well, I'll be leaving now. I guess it'd be all right for you to stay here. I'll make the report about your wife.
That's very good of you, Kiel.
You'll let us know if she turns up, won't you?
Yes, I'll let you know. He left. I locked the door and came back to the room where my wife was entombed. Was she still alive inside the hollow of that wall? I listened all night. The wailing rose to a high, insane shriek, and towards morning it began to grow weaker, as though she were losing strength. And then it seemed to die. The cat crept away. There was a merciful silence in the house. She was dead. She had to be by now. I sat down onto the sofa and fell into a feverish sleep. Somewhere a bell was tolling, calling mourners to the grave. Suddenly I sat straight upright, shaking, trembling. I'd been dreaming. The front door bell was ringing, and it was night again. How long had I slept? The house was silent. Oh, there was nothing to fear now. I ran to the door, opened it.
Hiya, kiddo.
Dorothy.
Well, are you gonna keep me out here in the cold?
No, I know. Come in. I haven't been feeling well, Dorothy.
Is that why you forgot our date tonight?
I must have overslept. What time is it?
10 o'clock.
10. I must have slept clear through the day.
Well, aren't you glad to see me?
Glad? Why, yes. It's a delightful surprise.
Well, that's more like you. Come here, kiddo. You've got the blues, but Dorothy will wipe them away. Give us a kiss. What's that?
Just the wind.
No, it can't be the wind.
This is a very old house, Dorothy. You sometimes hear strange noises.
I've never heard anything like that before. Sounds human.
Was she still alive? Even after 24 hours? Suddenly I realized that the doorbell was ringing again. There was a large pair of wooden sliding panel doors between the room that we were in and the vestibule that led to the street. I wasn't going to take any more chances.
There's someone at the door.
Yes. You wait here, Dorothy.
What are you doing?
Closing these doors.
Why?
I'd advise you not to ask too many questions.
Evening, Mr. Harnell.
Officer KEARY. Who are those men with you?
They've got something to show you, Mr. Harnell. You'd better brace yourself. It's not going to be pleasant. All right, bring it in, boys. You can put it over there.
What is it?
It's a body. A woman. Just fished out of the river right near here. She can't have been dead more than 24 hours.
My wife?
Well, it's hard to say. You see, the body got caught in the propeller of a boat. It's not easy to recognize it, unless it was examined by someone that knew her very well. Like yourself, of course.
Let me see it.
Take away the burlap. Look, Mr. Harnell, I know it's pretty bad. Is it your wife?
Agnes? Yes. Yes, of course. It's her.
You're sure now?
Yes, I'm sure. Positive.
All right, boys, take it away. You can stay here, Mr. Harnell. I'll take care of everything down to headquarters. Good night.
Luck, fate, whatever it is that seems to control men's lives was now playing directly into my hands. He'd never investigate now. The nightmare was over. This time I was really free. Suddenly, the panel door opened. Dorothy was standing there, curious smile on her lips.
I heard everything, kiddo.
You did.
So, you were married?
No longer, Dorothy. My wife died. Suicide.
So I heard.
Now everything will be quite all right. We can get married in a few weeks. We'll have money, lots of money.
She left you plenty, eh?
She was very wealthy.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Nothing. I see what happens to your face when you hear that wail. Did you kill her?
What are you talking about?
Did you murder her?
You heard what he said. She was found in the river.
You can fool a dumb copper, but you can't fool Dorothy. That wail. It's queer. Awfully queer. And look at what that cat's doing, will ya? Jumping up on that wall like it's gone crazy. Yes, there's something about that wall. That's what the cat's trying to tell me. Something about that wall.
You'd better stay away from that, Dorothy.
I'm going to find out.
Put that down.
Not till I'm done with it, kiddo.
What are you doing there?
I'm gonna break through the wall.
You crazy fool! Stop it!
No!
Give me that!
No! You're too late, Gabe. I've broken a hole through and I'm going to look.
Now you've seen.
Yes. The hand of a woman. It's her. It's your wife.
Yes, Dorothy.
You murdered her.
Yes.
Well, ain't you the kid?
What are you going to do about it?
What do you think? I want money. Lots of money. That rope.
Yes, this rope. It leaves no telltale traces.
No, kiddo. No, kiddo. Didn't you get it? It was all a joke. No, don't you come any closer.
Don't scream, Dorothy. It won't do you any good.
Gabe, listen to me. I don't want a cent. Not a single penny. I love you. I love you, I tell you. I'll keep your secret. I'll do anything you want. Anything! That rope. Take it away from my neck. No, don't, Gabe! In the name of heaven, Gabe, don't!
She was dead. I took her body and put it in an old trunk in the cellar. I had to think of some plan, some way to get rid of the bodies. In my confusion, there was only one thing I was certain of. I must never leave the house, not even for a minute. I never did. At nights, I would sit there listening. Then it would come, the wailing in the wall. I knew that after a week she couldn't be alive. What made the wail? Plans. I thought of 1,000 plans, but all of them meant I'd have to leave the house, and somebody would hear the wailing and find out just as Dorothy did. Fire. Yes, fire. That would do it. The idea danced like a flame in my mind, but no, they would discover the charred bones of the skeletons among the wreckage. It wouldn't be worth it. The only way I could be safe was to stay there, in the house. I stayed. I, who had risked everything for freedom. One day the doorbell rang. I opened it.
Mr. Harnell?
Yes?
I'm Mr. Crawford from the bank. Can I come in?
Just in here, in the vestibule.
We've written you a dozen times, but you've never replied.
What do you want?
Well, Mr. Harnell, you may not realize it, but you've overdrawn your account. The money your wife left you is gone.
Gone? In so short a time?
So short? Why, she died 40 years ago.
40? It seems only yesterday.
We've been investigating. Even the grocer who used to supply your food no longer will extend your credit.
Well, what do you want of me? I'm not starving.
If you could see your face, Mr. Harnell, you'd see that you are. Now, if you can be reasonable, we can see to it that you get $250,000.
$250,000? How?
By selling this house. It's become very valuable.
No. You get out of here! Get out!
But Mr. Harnell!
Get out! He was right. I was starving. That night when I heard the wailing begin again, I came to a decision. I had spent 40 years in the house.
More punishment than criminals receive who've committed even worse crimes than mine. I'd take a chance. I'd open the wall I'd sealed up 40 years ago. She was still there. The wailing continued. Why? I looked into the tomb I'd made for her, and then I saw it. I saw this thing that had ruined my life. It was a tiny hole in the outside wall that I'd made when I first broke it open. The wind rushed through and made that horrible wail. Bah! What was the use? I took a match out of my pocket. I set a flame to the curtains. In a moment, the place would be an inferno. I decided to stay. I wanted to perish with the house. In death, at least, I'd be free. But even then, freedom was denied me. They rescued me, brought me to this hospital. I had the nurse make inquiries from the police. She told me.
No, there was nothing unusual found amongst the ashes. Everything was burned to a fine powder.
If only I had set fire to the house 40 years ago. But no matter. The window is open, and it's 18 stories to the ground. I will soon be free.
Too bad Mr. Harnell didn't hold out just a little while longer. The real estate market is on fire. Someone could have got a whale of a deal. Breezy Victorian mansion. Kitchen recently remodeled. With plenty of closet space and only a few skeletons. Have you ever wished for something more? Something to drag you out of your mundane life? Riches? Fame? Our last nasty tidbit is about a family who weren't so careful what they wished for. And you know what they say. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Our final story is called The Monkey's Paw.
There, Herbert, my boy. I got you, I think.
Oh, you're a deepin' dad, aren't you?
Mean to say he's beaten you at last?
Lord, no. Why, he's overlooked.
I see it. Let me have that back. I would just...
Not a chance, not a chance. Rules of the game.
Rules? You turn what ought to be an innocent relaxation.
Don't talk so much, Father. You put him off.
Naughty.
Listen to the wind.
I'm listening. Check.
I should hardly think he'll come tonight.
He'll turn up all right. Mate.
Oh, it's the worst of living so far out. Of all the awful out-of-the-way places to live in, this is the worst. Can't walk on the footpath without getting stuck in the mud, and the road's a river. I don't know what the people are thinking about. I suppose they think it doesn't matter because only 2 houses in the road have people in them.
Never mind, dear. Perhaps you'll win the next one.
Perhaps? Perhaps? What do you mean? You always know what's going on inside of me, don't you, Mother?
Ought to after 30 years, John.
It's not such a bad place, Dad, after all. One of the few old-fashioned houses left near Little Rock. None of your stucco villas. Homelike, I call it. And so do you, or you wouldn't have bought it.
Nice job I made of that, too. With $400 owing on it.
Ah, why, I'll work that off in no time, Dad. Matter of 3 years, I'd say, with the raise they promised me.
If you don't get married.
Not me. Not the sort.
I wish you would, Herbert. A good, steady lad.
Lots of time, Mother. sufficient for the day, as the saying goes. Just now my dynamos don't leave me any time for lovemaking. Jealous they are, I tell you.
I lie awake at night often, and I think if Herbert took a nap and let his, what do you call them? Dynamos run down, all Arkansas would be in darkness. Lord, what a joke.
Joke! And me with the sack. Pretty good idea of a joke you got there, I don't think. There he is.
That's him, all right.
Wonder what yarn he's got for us tonight.
Slip in quick.
Awful. Awful. And a mile up the road by the cemetery, it's worse. Enough to blow the hair right off your head.
Sergeant Major, good to see you, old boy. So sorry to hear of your loss.
Thank you, John. I've been having the damnedest time keeping up my spirits.
Oh, so cold you must be. Come to the fire.
Yeah, thank you kindly, ma'am. Oh, that's good. It's a sight better than the trenches at Chitral. The rain poured in all day and night.
Didn't you have no umbrellas?
Umbrella? Oh, that's good. No offense, ma'am, but it's easy to see you were never a soldier.
21 years of service. When he went away, he was a thin young man. Now look at him.
He doesn't look to have taken much harm.
No, ma'am, just hardship. Hardship is the soldier's lot. Starvation, fever, and get yourself shot. Well, that's a bit of my own. How's yourself, lad? Not on duty yet?
No, sir.
Day week, eh?
Night week. But there's half an hour yet.
Here, Morris, put your nose in this.
Oh, whiskey? And hot? And sugar? And a slice of lemon? No. I said I'd never. Well, but seeing this sort of night, well. What? None for you, Herbert?
Tain't for want of being sociable, but my work don't go for it. I've got to keep a cool head, a steady eye, and a still hand, or the flywheel might gobble me up.
Don't, Herbert.
No fear, Mother.
Aye, you electricians, sort of magicians you are. It fair beats me, and I've seen a bit in my time, too.
Like your Indian mystics? It's all an act.
I tell you, I've seen it.
Oh, come on now. Such as what? Come now.
I've seen a cove with no more clothes on than a baby, if you know what I mean. He takes an empty basket, empty mind, empty as this here glass.
Hand it over, Morris.
Which was not my intentions, but used for illustration.
I've seen the basket trick, and I read how it was done. Why, I could do it myself with a bit of practice. Ladle out something stronger.
Stronger? What would you say to an old mystic chucking a rope up in the air? In the air, mind you, swarming up it, same as if it was hooked, and vanishing clean out of sight. Well, I've seen that.
That yarn takes it.
Mean to say you doubt my word?
No. He's only taking you off. You shouldn't, Herbert.
Herbert always was one for a bit of fun.
But it's true. Why, if I choose, I could tell you things. But there, you'll get no more yarns out of me.
Nonsense, old friend. You're not going to get surdy about a bit of fun now, will you? I'd like to go to India myself, just to look around a bit, you know?
You're better off where you are.
I should like to see those old temples and mystics and the street entertainers. What was that you started telling me the other day about a monkey's paw or something?
Nothing. At least nothing worth hearing.
Monkey's paw.
Don't go on about it. Empty again. How about a top-up, John?
You said you always carried it on you.
So I do, for fear of what might happen.
What's it for?
You wouldn't believe me if I was to tell you.
I will. Every word.
Well, it's just a bit of what you might call magic, perhaps. To look at it, it's just an ordinary little paw dried to a mummy.
And what is there special about it?
It had a spell put on it by an old mystic, a very holy man. He wanted to show that fate ruled people's lives, and that those who tried to change it would be sorry. He put a spell on it so that 3 different men could each have 3 wishes from it.
Don't!
But mark you, though the wishes was granted, those 3 people would have cause to wish they hadn't been.
Yeah. Seems to me you've only got to wish for things that can't have any bad luck about them.
Let's see it, Morris.
Oh!
Why, it's all dried up.
I said so.
But how could the wishes be granted?
You didn't say. It would all happen so natural, you might think it was a coincidence, if so disposed.
Oh. Why haven't you tried it, sir?
I have.
And did you really have the 3 wishes granted?
I did.
And has anybody else wished?
Well, the first man had his 3 wishes, yes. I don't know what the first 2 were, but the third was for death. That's how I got the paw.
If you had your 3 wishes, it's no good to you now then, Morris. What do you keep it for?
Fancy, I suppose. I did have some thought of selling it, but I don't think I will. It's caused enough trouble for me already. Besides, people won't buy. They think it's just a story, some of them, and those who do think anything of it want to try it first and pay afterward.
If you could have another 3 wishes, would you have them?
I don't know. I don't know. No! I'd be damned if I would.
What are you doing?
Better to let it burn. Let the infernal thing burn.
Let it be, Father!
If you don't want it, Morris, give it to me.
I won't. I threw it on the fire. My hands are clear of it. If you keep it, don't hold me responsible for what happens. Throw it on the fire like a sensible man.
I'm going to keep it. What do you say, Herbert?
I say keep it if you want to. Stuff and nonsense, anyhow.
Stuff and nonsense, yes. I wonder. I wish...
Stop! Mind what you're doing. That's not the way.
How do you do it?
Hold it up in your right hand and state your wish out loud so you can be heard. But I warn you of what might happen.
Sounds like the Arabian Nights. Don't you think you might wish for 4 pairs of hands for me?
Right you are, Mother.
If you must wish, wish for something sensible. Look here, I can't stand this. It gets on my nerves. Where's my coat?
I'm coming your way to the works in a minute. Won't you wait?
No, I'm all shook up. I want fresh air. I don't want to be here when you wish. And wish you will as soon as my back's turned. I know it. I know. But I've warned you. I've warned you.
All right, Morris. Don't you fret about us.
Good night, all. Put it in the fire, John.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
If the tale about the monkey's paw is not more truthful than those he's been telling us, we shan't make much out of it.
Did you give him anything for it, John?
A little. He didn't want it, but I made him take it.
There now. You shouldn't. Throwing your money about.
And he pressed me again to throw it away.
Not likely. Well, we're going to be rich and famous and happy. Wish to be a king, Father, to begin with. Then Mother can't complain all the time.
Wow!
Steady with that duster, Mother.
Be quiet there. I don't know what to wish for, and that's a fact. Seems to me I've got all I want.
If you only paid off the house, then you'd be quite happy, wouldn't you? We'll wish for $400 then. That'll just do it.
Shall I?
Go on. Here. I'll play slow music.
Don't, John. Put that horrid thing down.
I wish for $400. Ah! It moved! As I wished, it twisted my hand like a snake.
Nonsense, Dad. Why, it's as stiff as a bone. And I don't see the money. And I bet I never shall.
It must be your imagination, Father.
I swear it moved. Never mind, though. There's no harm done, but it gave me a shock all the same.
I expect you find that cash tied up in a big bag in the middle of your bed. And something horrible sitting on top of your wardrobe, watching you as you pocket your ill-gotten money.
I wish you wouldn't joke, son.
11:30. I must get along. I'm on at midnight. Well, we've had quite a merry evening. Don't break out the money before I get back. I'm afraid you'll turn you into a mean, greedy old man. We shall have to tell everyone that we don't know you.
I'm off to bed. Don't be late for breakfast, Herbert.
I shall walk home as usual. It does me good. I shall be with you around 9. Don't wait, though.
You know your father never waits.
Oh, Lord, what weather. Good night.
His bolt's stiff again. I must get Herbert to look to it in the morning. Mother! Mother!
What's the matter?
Nothing. I saw faces in the fire.
Come along.
What a morning Herbert's got for walking home.
What's the time?
9:15.
He's off at 8.
Takes him half an hour to change and wash. We should be just at the cemetery by now.
I suppose all soldiers are the same. The idea of listening to such nonsense. How could wishes be granted in these days?
Been thinking about it all night, have you?
You kept me awake with your tossing and your tumbling.
Yeah, I had a bad night.
It was a storm, I expect.
I didn't hear it. I was asleep and not asleep, if you know what I mean.
And all that rubbish about it making you unhappy if your wish was granted. How could $400 hurt you, Father?
It might drop on my head from the sky. Morris said that things happen so naturally that you might, if you so wished, not see the relationship.
Herbert will have some more of his funny remarks, I expect, when he comes home.
Oh, I know. But for all that, the thing moved in my hand, that I'll swear to you.
You thought it did.
I say it did. There was no thought about it. I had just... What's the matter?
What's that?
Postman, of course.
He's brought a letter, John.
What do you think he'd bring? Ton of coals?
John. Suppose...
Suppose what?
Suppose it was $400.
Oh, here, don't talk nonsense. Why don't you fetch it?
It's thick, John. And it's got something crisp inside it.
Who's it for?
You.
Hand it over then. The idea. What a superstitious old woman you are. Where are my specs?
Let me open it.
Don't you touch it. Where are my specs?
Don't let sudden wealth sour your temper, John.
How will you find my specs?
Here, John, here. Take care. Don't tear it.
Tear what?
If it was banknotes, John.
You've gone dotty. Sir, enclosed, please find receipt for interest on the mortgage of $400 on your house.
That comes of listening to tipsy old soldiers.
What does?
You thought there was banknotes in it.
I didn't. I said all along.
How Herbert will laugh when I tell him.
You're not going to tell him. You're going to keep your mouth shut. That's what you're going to do. Why, I should never hear the last of it. What is it?
Nothing.
Do you see Herbert coming?
No.
He's about due. What is it?
Nothing. Only a man. Looks like a gentleman. Leastways, he's in black. And he's got a top hat on.
What about him?
He stood at the garden gate if he wanted to come in. But he couldn't seem to make up his mind.
Oh, go on. You're full of fancies.
He's going. No, he's coming back.
Don't let him see you peeping.
He's looking at the house. He's got his hand on the latch. No. No. He turns away again. John! He looks like a sort of lawyer.
What of it?
Oh, you'll only laugh again. But suppose he's coming about the 400.
You're not to mention it again. You're a foolish old woman. Come and eat your breakfast. Where's he now?
Gone down the road. He's turned back. He seems to have made up his mind. Here he comes! Oh, John and me all untidy.
Good morning, sir, ma'am. Is this the White residence?
Yes. Won't you please come in and be seated?
No. Thank you. No, I think not. I think not.
Fine weather for the time of year.
Yes. Yes. See here. I've come...
Perhaps you was wishful to see Herbert. He'll be home in a minute. Here's his breakfast waiting.
No. No. I've come from Mon Megan's electrical works, and...
Why, you might have come with him. Is anything the matter? Has anything happened to Herbert? What is it? What is it?
There, Mother. Sit down and don't jump to a conclusion. You've not brought bad news, I'm sure, sir.
I'm sorry.
Was he hurt?
Badly. But he is not in any pain.
Oh, thank God. Thank God for that.
Go on, sir.
He was caught in the machinery.
Caught in the machinery? He was the only one left to us. Very, very hard.
Our firm wishes me to pass on their great sadness about your loss. I ask that you please understand I am only their servant and simply doing what they told me to do. I was to say that Ma and Megan's accept no responsibility, but although they don't believe that they have a legal requirement to make a payment to you for your loss, in view of your son's services, they wish to present you with a certain sum.
How much?
$400.
Come back to bed, dear. You will be cold.
It's colder than my son. The paw. Where's the monkey's paw?
Where? Where is it? What's the matter?
I'm on it. You've not destroyed it.
It's in the living room, on the shelf above the fireplace. Why?
I only just thought of it. Why didn't I think of it before? Why didn't you think of it?
Think of what?
The other two wishes. We've only had one.
Was not that enough?
No! We'll have one more. Go down and get it. Get it quickly. Wish our boy back alive again.
Good God, you are mad.
Get it. Get it quickly. And wish. My boy.
Get back to bed. You don't know what you're saying.
We had the first wish granted. Why not the second?
A coincidence.
Go get it and wish.
He has been dead 10 days. I would not tell you before, but I can only recognize him by his clothing. If he was too terrible for you to see then, how now?
Bring him back. Do you think I fear the child I have nursed?
I daren't touch it.
If you won't, I will.
No, wait!
Wish it, John.
It is foolish and wicked.
Wish.
I wish my son alive again.
Nothing.
Thank God. Thank God.
Nothing at all. Along the whole length of the road, not a living thing.
I can't bear the darkness.
Dream.
Where's the candle and the matches? Where are the matches? We mustn't sit in the dark. 'Tisn't wholesome. There. Don't take on so, Mother.
I'm a mother no longer. What's that?
A rat. A rat.
It's Herbert. It's Herbert.
What are you going to do?
It's my boy. It's Herbert. I forgot. He was 2 miles away. What are you holding me for? Let go. I must open the door.
For God's sake, don't let it in.
You're afraid of your own son? Let me go. I'm coming, Herbert. I'm coming.
Where's the monkey's paw?
Down. The top lock. The bolt's stuck. Come down. I can't reach it. Quickly, help me.
She left.
Do you hear me? John, your child's knocking.
Where is it? Where did it fall?
Help! Help! Will you keep your child from his home?
Where is it? Where did it fall?
Help!
Where did it fall? I can't find it. I can't find it.
Boy, wait! Your mother called into you.
God, no! I wish him dead and at peace!
Looks like the Carter really gave the whites a helping hand. Why, they may not have fully enjoyed it, but Herbert sure got a rise out of it. And so until next year, when we resurrect a few more classic bone chillers, lock your doors, turn on all the lights, pull the blankets up over your head, and whatever you do, don't open the door, or there may be grave consequences.
Thanks for listening, and thank you to all our contributors. Tonight's Halloween Spectacular featured the following. In The Good Die Young, Scott Fairbairn as Stephen, Kate Coursey as Helen, Glenda Bell as the housekeeper, Melissa Beveridge as the police matron, Charles Brimley as the mysterious traveler and the doctor, and introducing June Westlake as Sandra, with Sandra's piano played by Matthew Wyner. In The Wailing Wall, Kyle Frank and Scott Fairbairn as the firemen, Oral Speakwell as Gabriel Harnell, Melissa Beveridge as Nurse Hopkins and Dorothy, Glenda Bell as Agnes Harnell, Brian Fairbrother as Officer KEARY, Scott Fairbairn as Crawford, and introducing Lola as the Black Cat. And finally in The Monkey's Paw, Scott Fairbairn as Mr. White, Melissa Beveridge as Mrs. White, Brian Fairbrother as Morris, and Caedmon Ricker Wilson as Herbert and the Visitor. Be sure to return in December for our Christmas special. Stay safe, stay tuned, and good night.